Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
So welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel Mindset Coach, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very grateful you've chosen to put me in your earbuds today. Please do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, and do leave me a review. I love reading them, and it really helps me get found by other people who need to hear what I share. I'd also love you to email me your mindset and productivity questions or topics you'd love me to cover to hello@franexcel.com, because I know a lot of you think I'm inside your heads because you tell me all the time. But if I don't know what you need, I can't give it to you. So let me know. I shall get started. Okay, so it's time to stop overcomplicating things in your business. And it really is time to simplify a few things. One of the biggest things that I see holding business owners back is overcomplicating things that could be a lot easier if we just looked at them a slightly different way. There are a huge amount of people out there selling tools, strategies, techniques, software, etc., all promising to be the thing that you need that will finally make stuff happen in your business. And they make it seem oh so easy. Then we get all the things and end up overwhelmed and not implementing any of it, and in a worse place than we were before we got them. It's bonkers. But it is not your fault. We are bombarded with clever and manipulative sales messages everywhere we look that make us feel and believe that without this one thing, we either don't have a business or it's just never going to work. So no wonder people come to me feeling so overwhelmed, anxious, and completely unsure how to turn it around. Everything is so blimmin' overcomplicated. So where are you overcomplicating things and in need of a little simplifying? So what I wanted to do was put together a few thinking points for you to go through that might give you a little aha moment for where you could simplify things for yourself, and a few ideas that could work for you. So we're all different at the end of the day. The thing that works well for one person may not for you, but there is always another way. Another way to look at things, another way to think about things, another way to do things that may not be obvious on your own, that can clear headspace, increase your productivity, and make you actually take action on the things that have previously been holding you back. So I will start with a few of my favorites, and one that is always a game changer for clients and super simple when they do it. Schedule your day. So instead of feeling like you need to be in a million places at once, doing a million things, how would it feel to have a structure that you follow so you always know what you're focusing on at that moment? You get to do that, you know. So go back and revisit why multitasking is a myth to really see how important this is. So you have a time for emails, and the rest of the time you have an autoresponder on, so you don't feel like you have to reply right in that instant. A particular time and day of the week for client calls, admin, learning, sales. It makes life so much more simple, frees up time, and gives you structure so you're not always fighting fires. My favorite way to do it is the Google Calendar, where you can set recurring tasks. Behavioral flexibility is an important part of this. So when something comes up, you can move things around, but you always know that you're going to be able to fit everything in, and hopefully in the way that's the most effective for you. Yeah? So next, analyze and set up processes. Do you have processes in your business, like above, using a Google Drive or anything like that? What is your process for getting people on a call? Is it a family, when are you free kind of situation that takes several emails to work out a time? Or do you have a simple link that you can send with your availability and then the client can choose? I use Calendly personally, but there are plenty of other auto schedulers to look at, where you can set the times that you're free, you can set it so you can't get last minute calls, all that sort of stuff. Game changer. So have a look at the common tasks in your business and see if there is a more simple way to achieve the same result in less time, ideally. Now the next one is 2 heads are better than 1. Ta-da! The amount of times you're looking at something and just can't see the wood for the trees, and someone comes along and simply says, well, have you thought about doing it this way? And then you kick yourself at how blimmin' obvious the answer was the whole time. Yeah, that. How much time and stress could you save yourself if you'd had that conversation sooner? Get an accountability buddy, a paid membership groups, mastermind, or a coach, and save yourself the time and the heartache. It's one of the many reasons I structure my Proactive Pants Mastermind like I do. You're literally never more than a few days away from looking at something differently, from solving a problem that you could potentially spend weeks or months agonizing over otherwise. So the next one I want you to think about is outsourcing. And I know I bang on about this, but honestly, it's such a game changer and often not as expensive as you'd think. So would you rather make an investment of your time or your money? Which is the priority? I'm not here to tell you which one's right for you. Yeah? So here's a few of my favorite things to outsource that made a real difference to me. So first one, I got an accountant and invested in QuickBooks. There are other tools, of course, that do the same thing, like Xero. So choose which is right for you. And I mean, every receipt I get is just emailed over and stored and matched up with my bank statements. Brilliant. So end of year accounts are a doddle. I've got a system set up where everything is so much easier. I save so much time and create so much headspace. The next is my VA. She's a dream. There are certain tasks she does for me every single month and they just get done. It's amazing. She follows a process and everything is done how I like it, and I don't even need to literally don't even need to think about it. But on top of that, think about the personal things too. Where can you save time? Can you get a cleaner? Getting your shopping delivered instead of going to the shop itself? And trust me, the £5 you spend on delivery will be more than covered by you not hovering down the Ben & Jerry's aisle. Plus, they save your list, so next time it eventually takes all the thought process out. Dreamy again. So what tasks could you outsource? Content creation, email marketing, social media. Think about it. Have a look at your business and think, what could you outsource? Now, the next thing that I feel is massively overcomplicated. How do you get clients currently? Is it overcomplicated funnels, or even getting halfway through setting up an overcomplicated funnel so no one gets through it, slogging your guts out in other people's Facebook groups, spray and pray opt-ins? Have you actually looked over your low-hanging fruit? What is your low-hanging fruit? Is there anyone you could simply reach out to that you may have spoken to before? Yeah, all these methods have merits for sure. But the quickest and easiest way, in my humble opinion, is to consistently analyze who are the most active members of your community. Who have you spoken to before that maybe wasn't ready at the time but may be ready now? Just check in with them, genuinely. Asking for referrals and going to in-person events and actually just talking about what you do. Bonkers, right? So, my 5, repurposing. Repurposing content is a game changer. It is a huge time saver and also very simply creates a cohesive message. People will have their own preferred platform to consume your content on, so you don't want them to miss anything. You know, you'll have people who like to read things, people who like to listen to things, people who like to watch things. There are a ton of ways that you can repurpose across multiple platforms already. So for example, on Instagram, that can go onto your Facebook page and Twitter, just at the click of a little button. Have a look at your current content and see how else you could use it. So I create one core piece of content every single week and have ways to promote it for a whole year across audio, video, written and images. And there's a ton of other things I could do that I don't currently. Yeah, one piece of content creates around 30 to 35 pieces of content across multiple platforms without me having to spend all my time there. Can I get a prayer hand emoji? And then the next thing is automation, which leads me nicely onto it. What in your business is currently labor intensive that you can automate? Sit there, write a list. What could you potentially automate? There's things like messenger bots, which I don't love personally, but they are very, very effective. You know, what else could you automate? You've got your funnels. How can you automate the sales process? How can you automate your clients booking calls in? Have a look at what you do and how you can automate it. Now, the next thing, batching, my favorite, along with repurposing. So batching similar tasks together ensures that you can get into the zone. Yeah, the less you context switch, the more you get done and the easier it feels. So what can you batch together? Content creation, interviews, client calls, discovery calls. I've run out of fingers. Personal admin tasks, learning. The world really is your oyster. So have a look at your own business and see what comes up for you that you could batch together. When I had my jewelry business, it was my favorite thing, batching. So I could create around 30 pieces in a similar amount of time that it would take to create one. Loved it. So satisfying. Next, I want you to have a look at your packages or your services. Is there anything you can combine or let go of so there's a clear pathway for your customer? Do one or two things really well. There's nothing to stop you introducing more as you master things. Don't confuse your clients. Confused minds don't buy. So it's a specific product for a specific person at a specific point of their journey. And then increase your focus and get that one thing bang on first. So what are you telling yourself you have to do in order to have a successful business? Do you really have to do it? Is there potentially an easier or simpler way? What change would have the biggest impact in the shortest amount of time? What I like to call the low-hanging fruit. It's so easy when the answer is often right in front of our faces to not be able to see the wood for the trees. We are bombarded with so many different messages. It's easy to get lost, do what we're told, not go against the grain and look for another way. And it's time for this to stop. There are too many overwhelmed people stuck in inaction when it doesn't have to be that way. It's about looking at things another way and consciously looking for that other way, the way that will make the difference. We tell ourselves it should be complicated, difficult, hard, because the payoff for this can be so huge. And the reality is, it doesn't. It's just time to simplify. I'm going to finish with a quote from Confucius. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. So, if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, I work with people one-on-one and through my Proactive Pants Mastermind. So stop waiting for if and when and decide to change things now, because you can. And as always, I hope that was helpful. So any questions, just let me know. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye.